Hello and welcome into Anchorage Bucs baseball alongside my partner Will Hopkins. Vic Masley here at Mulcahy Stadium for another matchup between the Anchorage Bucs and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, but another non-league game, so the
Yep.
pressure is off for the Bucs. Yesterday, they took down the Matsu Miners 4-3. Another non-league game. What that means is these games do not count towards the record. They are
hmm
seven-inning games. They're games where scouts come in to watch all the players. Some, specific guys. Some just coming up here to look at the whole team, and see if they could find guys that they weren't expected to see. And yesterday, a really good game again for the Bucs. If you do count it towards the records, they would be 6-1, but they are a 5-1 team. As for the Glacier Pilots, have struggled a little bit,
Yeah.
2-5, and one of those wins was versus the Bucs in the opening day.
Yeah, they've struggled. They've lost four straight, just 2 runs in those 4 games combined. Talking about the league games, a couple of those games a little bit shortened as part of a doubleheader, but still struggling to score runs. And we've seen the Bucks pitching be really phenomenal to start this year. A couple games where they've allowed some more runs than they would have liked, but usually the offense has picked up the slack. But what I'm trying to say is this Pilots lineup has their hands full.
They sure do. And before I forget, well, we are happy to let you know that we figured out how to get the live chat on.
Yeah.
So if you want to comment and leave a comment, if you're cheering, rooting for someone that you know on the team or your family member, or if you just want to comment and say good luck to the Bucks or the Glacier Pilots, we'll take either or. Um,
Eh.
maybe not, but hey, if you want to comment, the comment box is open. So please throw us a few comments out there. We'd love to see everyone interacting. Of course, if the stream is messed up, you guys are the first ones to notice rather than us up here. At least audio-wise, first ones to notice. We have a little monitor up here that helps us out. But going back towards the game, it's just two opposite tales after that opening day. The Bucks really took off 5 straight wins. They haven't looked back. The offense, game by game, has been heating up for this Bucks team. Just 4 runs, and I say just 4 runs because we've seen 12 runs, we've seen 10 runs for this Bucks team. But a good game yesterday, and it was tough to score runs because Matsu kept throwing other pitchers out there just for 1 or 2 innings.
Yeah, we've seen that in multiple games from the Miners, not necessarily all against the Bucks, but them putting pitchers out there for 2 or even just 1 inning over and over and over. And yesterday, a really tight game, 1-1 heading into the sixth, and then just some defensive mistakes from the Miners cost them in the
Mm-hmm,
bottom of the
mm-hmm.
sixth. The Bucks doing a great job taking advantage of those mistakes, and then pitching held true in the seventh. And as we found out the hard way yesterday, if the Bucks are leading after the top of the seventh, we will still go to bat in the bottom of the
Yes.
seventh, even with the game in hand. Giving those scouts a full 7 innings to see what these players have to offer.
Yeah, so we're hoping for that today. We're
Yes.
just about 10 minutes away from first pitch. A couple days ago, we had an umpire delay, but we were good yesterday, and I'm sure we'll be good tonight. Obviously, over there in the East Coast, we appreciate you guys joining with us almost 10 o'clock there. So we'll step aside a little bit. Well, we'll talk more about the pitching matchup, and we'll
hmm
get to starting lineups and even more after the break. Welcome back here to Mulcahy Stadium, just moments away from first pitch between the two Anchorage teams, the Glacier Pilots and the Bucs, and it'll be the Bucs batting in the bottom half of this first inning as they are the home team. But getting into our pitchers, Peyton Allen on the bump for the Pilots, and as for the Bucs, Chad Gurney is pitching. And Will, we were talking about Peyton Allen. He has pitched against the Bucs.
Yes, he pitched opening day against the Bucs. 2 innings pitched, actually came in relief to work the eighth and the ninth, and a six-out save for him in that 3-0 win for the Pilots. No hits allowed, a couple of walks, no strikeouts, and no runs. So good stuff for Allen against these Bucs bats. Hopefully the Bucs can figure things out a little bit better today.
And as for Chad Gurney, he's had a couple of appearances here for the Bucs, right?
Yeah, I'll go back to that outing against the Miners. That was his only other start that he's had. He went 3 1/3 in that 10-9 win. A couple of hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. So he'll want to clean things up a little bit, but did just enough for the Bucs to get that high-scoring win. That would be last Saturday.
And Chad Gurney out of Cal State Fullerton. He was a freshman this year out of Garden Grove, California. Went to Pacifica High School. And at Cal State Fullerton, not the best start. He was 0-4. Did have 13 appearances, so pretty good as a true freshman. Started 7 games, gave up 24 earned runs and 25 innings pitched, but he's looked good so far here in his limited appearances for the Bucs, and he's looking for a good game here. The only problem is these games don't count, and the Bucs have looked really good, and it's kind of unfortunate that the non-league games are happening at this time with 5 straight wins. The team winning yesterday, and just looking really good all around the board. Will.
Yeah, and I think even though these games don't count, these guys are baseball players. It's such a mental sport and such a sport of routine. So whether it's a hitter or a pitcher, having a good performance and being able to build that into next game if you're a hitter or next start if you're a pitcher, which would obviously be in league play, I think it's super valuable, and they can use this as an opportunity to do that.
Yep, and a little bit of a different lineup. We'll get into that right now. Will, if you want to share the lineups for today, starting with our Glacier Pilots.
Yeah, the designated visitors, the Glacier Pilots. They'll start it with Hunter Backstrom, who will play in left field, and then Dylan Marks will bat second as the designated hitter. Luke Hefner Jr. will bat third and play shortstop, and Luke Stolga will bat cleanup and play in right field. Chase Knight at the hot corner batting fifth, and a new member of this Glacier Pilots roster, an Alaska native Edison Polanco will play first base and bat sixth. All three Sanders in the starting lineup. Logan Sanders will play center and bat seventh. Troy Sanders will play second base and he will bat eighth. And sandwiched between them is Bo Rico in the 9 hole catching. And then finally, that last Sanders, Marcus Sanders, actually batting 10th as the Pilots are choosing to bat 10 players in this game. Like we said, scout showcase, so a little bit of flexibility there. Going to take a quick break for the national anthem. When we come back, I'll quickly go over that Bucs lineup for y'all, and we should be just about ready for first pitch. Continuing on now with the Bucs lineup, Riley Huntsaker will play center field and bat first. Andrew Lamb behind the plate batting second. Cole Carlone will be tonight's designated hitter, batting third. Tommy Eisenstadt over at first base, batting cleanup, and Will Burns at that familiar spot over at short, batting fifth. Adam Enyart will get the start in right field. batting 6th, and Brett Castillo will start in left field, batting 7th. To round things out, Cade Lacey on the hot corner, and Nolan Cusey at second base. So going back over both lineups for the Pilots, Backstrom, Marks, and Hefner Jr., Stolga, Knight, and Polanco, Logan Sanders, Troy Sanders, Bo Rico, and Marcus Sanders as that 10th hitter for the Pilots. For the Bucs, it'll be Hunsaker, Lamb, and Carlone, Eisenstadt, Burns, and Enyart, Castillo, Lacey, and Cusey, just the 9 hitters for the Bucs. And a reminder that there may be some funky subs in tonight's game with those scouts here. A little bit of flexibility for those managers, but we saw yesterday the Bucs treating it like a pretty normal game, and I'd expect them to do the same here today. Just a reminder of that pitching matchup. Peyton Allen for the Glacier Pilots, his second time facing these Bucs. But first in the top half, we will see Chad Gurney on the mound, number 27, the righty, getting those warm-up tosses in right now, and just a few moments away from first pitch. And bringing that to you will be Vic Maslia.
Thank you, Will. Chad Gurney just finishing up his warm-up tosses there on the hill. The righty ready for his appearance here in the non-league game. The Bucs sporting those camo jerseys, white base with the black and gray camo spots on them. Bucs written in yellow across the chest, BUCS, outlined in a little bit of white numbers on the front and back of the jerseys, going with their pinstripe white pants, white base with black pinstripes, gold lining down the sides. In the middle is blue. As for the Glacier Pilots, they will be going with their away jerseys. Those are the all-blue jerseys, waiting for them to get a little bit into frame here. Rich Price, as I will pivot for a sec, is the head coach. He's standing at third base for the Glacier Pilots, as he normally does. Of course, Sanagorski, the third base coach for the Bucs, is one of the assistant coaches. So like I said, the blue jerseys for the Bucs, that royal blue, almost white letters, Pilots written across the chest in just white, and those gray pants with blue piping. Chad Gurney wheels around the first pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Strike one to the batter, Hunter Backstrom.
Don't have the stats in the system for opening day, but these teams played on Sunday. Backstrom 0 for 2 with a walk.
Popped up foul, still waiting on a lot of those stats to get in. Home team usually scores it, so a little bit out of our control when we're the visiting team, but we know that other teams are working hard to try to get those stats, and they know the players want it just as bad as we do. Probably more. 0-2 misses up and away.
Yeah, it's interesting talking to some of the players. Some like to look at their stats fairly often. Meanwhile, others who have said they don't think they'll look at them at all throughout the season, just focus on play, as that one's grounded to the right side.
Tommy Eisenstadt takes it, and the throw to first is in time. One down here in the first. That'll bring up Dylan Marks. He's the designated hitter. It'll be another beautiful day here in Anchorage. We had a great one yesterday, and this is just about the same, but we had cloudy skies rolling in, not currently, as the first pitch misses outside. Heard a little bit of thunder, too.
Yeah, we did. Looked at each other, got a little bit concerned, but didn't hear any since that. Luckily able to have first pitch right on time.
1 ball, no strikes. Here it is. Swung on and missed. Got him with a good breaking ball. Cal State Fullerton. I believe it's just the second, maybe third time that the Bucs have whipped out their camo jerseys as a swing and a miss for strike two.
And I think a good call. They're great uniforms,
Yeah.
but don't want to be wearing a camo jersey every day. A nice alternate to have for these Bucs.
Definitely don't want to be wearing black like they were yesterday, oddly enough. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it is. Fisted down the first base line. That's a fair ball. Taking a big turn around first base and holding up is Dylan Marks, but that's a 1-out single. And a good job by Adam Enyart getting over there quickly and limiting it to a single.
Yeah, great job by Enyart for sure. Nothing Eisenstadt could really do about that one. Hit right down the line on first base.
That'll bring up one of the Hefner brothers, Luke Hefner, playing shortstop. His brother David Hefner, a pitcher for the Glacier Pilots. So he bats with a runner aboard at first and 1 down. A ground ball again out to first. Eisenstadt goes to second for 1. On to first base. Double play. A great turn started by Eisenstadt. Will Burns was at short and fired a strike back to first base. So A double play makes Chad Gurney see the minimum here in the first inning, and he works around a one out single, one hit, no runs, nobody left, and no errors as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. The Bucs coming up when we come back. Welcome back here. Sorry, a little technical difficulties. Still figuring things out here in the first week of ABL ball.
It's
As
Alaska Heat's no joke.
it sure is. It gets hot in this booth out here. It's definitely a little cooler out there. There's not a lot of humidity, so the wind gets to you a little bit at least. Ground ball was out to first base by Riley Hunsaker, and it was taken by the first baseman Edison Polanco for out number one. So score that 3-U. Andrew Lamb grabs a bat now.
For Lamb, 2 for 5 against the Pilots the second time around. Is that one fouled off? 2 for 5, a run scored, an RBI. Great day for Lamb back on Sunday.
1-1 count. Lamb catching today. We've seen him catch a good bit. As he floats that into center field, Logan Sanders ranges over and makes that no problem. 2 down here.
Yeah, ball hanging up for Sanders out there. Plenty of time to run over to his right and make the play.
So now Cole Carlone. Carlone was our pitcher yesterday. Looked really good. And now grabs a bat. He's been a DH a good bit. He's also played first base.
Great versatility from Carlone. Whether it's on the mound or in the box, definitely someone the Bucs want to have on that lineup card every day.
Takes a strike and hits this one out to shortstop. Luke Hefner collects and throws for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Peyton Allen. Nothing doing for the Bucs. We head back to the top of the second inning. Still no score here in Anchorage. Welcome back here. Still getting camera things set up. Should be moments away from getting that camera right back to you. No problem. Back out there for the Bucks is Chad Gurney and a big swing and a miss from Luke Stolga. He's the right fielder.